Santiago voy ligerito, caminando, y con mi paraguitas por si la lluvia me va mojando.
The morning of April 29, 2016, we boarded a tour bus that would drive us from La Coruña to Santiago de Compostela, the capital of northwest Spain's Galicia region, known as the culmination of the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage route, and as the alleged burial site of the biblical apostle Saint James within its cathedral, consecrated in 1211. On our way to the grand square in front of the cathedral, we walked by the Church of San Francisco, established in the 13th century.
A Santiago voy, a Santiago voy, como un peregrino por el camino de la ilusión. A Santiago voy, a Santiago voy, y con mi Carmela en Compostela me quedo yo. A Santiago voy ligerito, caminando, y con mi paraguitas por si la lluvia me va mojando. A Santiago voy ligerito, suspirando por mi niña Carmela, que en Compostela me está esperando. Voy subiendo montañas, cruzando valles, siempre cantando. Poder de mi acaricia, porque a Galicia ya estoy llegando. A Santiago voy, a Santiago voy, como un peregrino.
The cathedral's facade facing Plaza del Obradoiro was under restoration, as was the famous Portico of Glory.
Santiago voy, como un peregrino por el camino de la ilusión. A Santiago voy, a Santiago voy, y con mi Carmela en Compostela me quedo yo.
The Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela is the most outstanding building of Romanesque art in Spain, and it is the starting point for the construction of a monumental city, Santiago de Compostela. The cathedral covers an area of around 10,000 square meters, capable of rewarding with its powerful spirituality the faith of travelers, and with its beauty visitors from all over the world. The high altar in Romanesque style from the 12th century was replaced by a large silver Baroque work, dominated by Saint James dressed as a pilgrim, with a spectacular baldachin supported by angels above and crowned by an effigy of the Apostle on horseback and the Spanish coat of arms. One of the rituals carried out by worshippers in the cathedral is going up the stairs to the alcove to embrace the seated St. James wearing a pilgrim's cape, a Romanesque figure from the 13th century, and admiring the view of the main nave. Unfortunately, the famous Botafumeiro censer was not in use when we visited. Now in view the 18th century organs decorated by Miguel de Romay. Entrance to the small underground mausoleum to visit the relics to the Apostle James and his disciples Athanasius and Theodomyrus. As mentioned at the beginning of the travelogue, the famous Portico de Gloria was under restoration and could not be viewed. Santiago boasts several impressive plazas, but four in particular receive the attention of tourists, and this can be found encircling the city's centrally located cathedral. We managed to visit three of the four plazas, namely Plaza del Obradoiro, Plaza de Quintana, and Plaza de Platerías. Plaza del Obradoiro is the massive square that sits in front of Santiago Cathedral. It is also faced by three other important and architecturally significant buildings. The 18th century Rajoy Palace, now Santiago's City Hall. The Renaissance-style Hostal dos Reis Católicos, built in the early 16th century by order of the Catholic monarchs Isabel and Fernando, as a recuperation center for exhausted pilgrims, now a parador, luxurious state-owned hotel. Its four courtyards and some other areas are open to visitors. Here we enjoyed tapas, wine and music, displayed by la Tuna de Derecho de la Universidad de Santiago de Compostela.
Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegra cielito lindo los corazones, que se duda que tienes cielito lindo junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me ese luna que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me entre flores, fantasías y alegría, nació España, la tierra del amor. Solo Dios pudo crear tanta belleza, es imposible que pueda haberlo. España ha sido siempre y lo será, eterno paraíso sin igual. Por eso sueles de cantar, que viva España, la gente la recordará. Que viva España, la tuna canta con amor. Que viva España, y todo tiene otro color, España es la mejor. Qué bonito es el mar Mediterráneo, la costa brava y la costa del sol. La sardana y el plátano me emociona, porque sus notas hay vida y hay amor. Y todo el mundo sabe que es verdad, y llora cuando tiene que marchar. Por eso se oye este cantar, que viva España, la gente la recordará. Que viva España, la tuna canta con amor. Que viva España, y todo tiene otro color, España es la mejor. He visto en Santa Cruz otra bonita casita, quiero el guave que llevaba se entero, mirando te iré un pedacito de cielo, laberintos de mi corazón.
At the south end of the Plaza del Obradoiro stands the Colegio de San Jerome, a former college for the poor that is now the rectorate of Santiago University. This 17th century building has a 15th century Romanesque Gothic portal that was transferred from the college's previous building. The main part of Plaza de la Quintana is a vast rectangle. It is divided into two by a staircase that separate the Quintana de los Muertos, Plaza of the Dead, at the bottom, and the Quintana de Vivos, Plaza of the Living, at the top. Visually, the square is not quite as attractive, mainly because the facades of the buildings that face it are less ornate. The clock tower, also called the Berenguela, is at the intersection of the Plaza de Platerías and Plaza de la Quintana. Construction began in 1316 as a defense tower, and between 1676 and 1680, 2 floors more were added. Next to the clock tower and facing Plaza de la Quintana is the Royal Portico or Porta Real in Baroque style. Its construction began in 1666 and was completed in 1700. The kings of Spain entered the cathedral through this door, hence its name, and on its lintel is the royal coat of arms. Then, also facing Plaza de la Quintana is the so-called Holy Door, Porta Santa, or Door of Forgiveness, Porta do Perdón. It is the closest to the steps and is usually closed with a fence and opened only in Jubilee years, years when St. James's Day, 25 July, falls on a Sunday. The 3 niches above the door contain the images of James and his disciples, Athanasius and Theodore at his side. Also facing this plaza is a monastery called Monasterio de Ante Altares, which is the city's second oldest building. Historically, this square, which is alternately known as the Plaza de los Literarios, gets its name from a battalion of students who fought the French in the Spanish Wars of Independence in the early 19th century. We continued walking towards the upper level of the plaza, Plaza de Vivos, and after climbing the steps we turned right onto Via Sacra and reached the church of San Pelayo. Then at the lower end of the plaza, under the colonnades of the Casa de Conga, I spotted this sculpture with the following inscriptions: Camino recto, camino erguido. Camino buscando un sentido. Camino porque tengo un objetivo. Y no pararé hasta alcanzar mi destino. The southern aspect of the cathedral opens to the Plaza de Platerías. Attendees of Mass use this entrance to enter and exit through the cross nave and the Puerta de Platerías, silversmith door. This plaza offers a great view of the clock tower as well, and I was able to capture great close-up pictures of the last 2 tiers of the tower. This close-up of the south portal to the cathedral, Puerta de Platerías goldsmith's doorway, shows the only remaining Romanesque facade from the 12th century, featuring a variety of worn stone carvings. The Casa del Cabildo is considered one of the finest examples of Baroque architecture in the Galicia region. This impressive aristocratic house was built in 1758 and is renowned for its exquisite facade that graces the Plaza de las Platerías. The fountain, erected in 1759, is the most beautiful and famous in Santiago. It consists of 4 horses supporting an angel who triumphantly holds the star of Saint James. The cathedral cloister dates from the year 1540 and is better known as the treasure El Tesoro. Its tower, which at its highest point is in the form of a stepped pyramid, is very original. Then we made it to the quaint Plaza de Fonseca. With its small stone fountain in the center, it welcomes locals, college students, and religious pilgrims alike. It is located opposite the General Library of the university and less than a 5-minute walk from the Plaza del Obradoiro and the Cathedral. Colegio de Fonseca was commissioned by Archbishop Alonso de Fonseca, converting the house where he was born, and which belonged to his influential family for educational purposes. The school began to function in 1544 and was later used to house the University of Compostela, created with the patronage of his family at the beginning of the century. It presently houses the General University Library. The Church of San Fructuoso was designed by Lucas Ferro Caveiro in the 18th century. The facade is designed to be viewed from a higher place, that is, from the Plaza del Obradoiro, so the decoration is concentrated on the upper ledge, where the images of the 4 cardinal virtues, prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance, are located. The facade, that includes a niche with the image of Our Lady of Sorrows, is completed with a bell tower decorated with scrolls and pinnacles. Views afforded from Plaza del Obradoiro of the old town of Santiago, that is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Most of the Casco Antiguo and the area around the cathedral is closed to automobile traffic, adding to the quaint old-world ambience. Unfortunately, the Santiago de Compostela Highlights tour came to an end, and we had to return to the bus terminal to board the tour bus that would drive us back to La Coruña, where the Zuiderdam was waiting for us.